What's up, nail geeks, and welcome back to another Hella Handmade Creations video. I have a few of this month's offerings. If you're new to the channel, if you're new to this collab in general, this is a monthly pre-order style release between many makers. The makers have their own inspirations, or rather a series that they work off of. And if you want to basically have an entire collection of each maker's inspiration for each of their months, then you'll need to grab them individually each month. Without further ado, let's dive right in. And first up, we've got Crystal Knockout. This is Dragon Princess, part of their Women in Control series. Described as a light purple jelly base with blue and pink glowing shimmer, silver hollow and white iridescent glitters, and iridescent color shifting flakes in purple, pink, and aqua. We have a really luminous, what I'm going to call a flaky bomb. I would suggest going up to 2, possibly 3 coats. If you choose to go up to a 3rd coat, please keep in mind, go in very thin, as this does have a squishier, really packed full formula. There is quite a bit of thirstiness from all the flakes in this, so I would suggest a thicker glossy top coat, and just be mindful of your coat so you don't get over buildup. And Femme Fatale brings us Winter Peace. This is described as a soft dove blue base with large glass flake shimmer that shifts pink to gold to green and finished with antique green reflective glitters. Price is $13 and there's a cap of 400 bottles. The Femme Fatale this month is one of my top picks for the offerings, and for good reason. When you see it on my full hand shot here in just a moment, you will see why. It is a shimmer lover's dream. It's so foily in person, meaning the shimmer in it is very big and it gives that very foiled effect. In real life, I was wiggling my fingers around all over the place in my apartment, and I saw an easy shift from that pink to gold with green at more extreme angles. It's very lovely. I don't think my full hand shot's giving you the full story, to be honest. It's just so very sparkly, not just from the reflective glitters, but also from the shimmer flex. I'm gonna suggest 3 coats, a glossy top coat, and a glitter smoothing top coat underneath your glossy. And here's Hearts and Promises. This is Anna, described as a deep purple magenta linear hollow polish. This one's $13 with a cap of 300 bottles and part of her Princesses series. This is a really lovely jelly type of hollow. I do think that the overall finish is a linear finish, but because of the jelly nature of the formula itself and the bit of that plump jello looking appearance, I think in indoor lighting and dimmed lighting, it does take on what to my eyes looks more like a very dense scattered hollow. But in bright lights in the sunshine and your kitchen lights, public bathroom lights, you will absolutely see it more in a linear fashion. This is such a flattering type of magenta-ish sort of purple. I'm going to suggest 3 coats and a glossy top coat to get that nice squishy smooth glass look. And here is Luna Lacquer, the Great Eagles, described as a gold reflective glitter polish with bronze to gold magnetic pigment and green turquoise blue purple shifting shimmer. This one's part of her Lord of the Rings series. Price is $12 and there's a cap of 100 bottles. So we have a very dense formula. It was very smooth on application for me. I appreciated that it does have a heavy formula, but we have a paddle brush to really help smooth this on like a dense type of butter over toast. I'm obviously hungry. This is versatile in that it does, in my opinion, look really cool unmagnetized. It's more of this antique gold sort of ultra sparkly sort of finish. But when you magnetize it, I do think it is on the more subtle side. Here you can see it with a glitter smoother and a glossy top coat because it does have texture from the reflective glitters. I just think that the backdrop is going to be just a bit more into the color family, so this isn't the most contrasting magnetic look overall. And Luna Lacquer is also bringing us a wax melt. This is a massive one. This is a 3.3 ounce wax melt in the shape of a cute eagle. This is how I cut up the wax. I am a wax person, but ironically enough, I don't get super fancy with the way I cut them. It is what it is. I just cut it and get the job done. This is scented in the Great Eagle, which is pecan pie and marshmallows. Now, I had this melting in my living room, and I will forever say that Luna Wax makes some incredible wax that has wonderful throw to it, meaning it travels really well through a space. My living room is pretty open, and it smelled up the place very well. My oldest and my husband came through the door yesterday and they said it smelled like maple syrup. I do agree with that. On cold sniff, I can definitely get the pecan and the undertone of marshmallow. But when you're melting it, to me, I agree with that. I'm smelling more of a mapley sort of smell to it. It's very pleasant. And honestly, with this cold snap we're having here in the South, it is very appropriate. And up next, we've got Night Owl Lacquer. This is I Don't Appreciate Your Sarcasm. Described as a clear base glowing with pink, copper, gold, green, shifting large particle shimmer, and teal, blue, purple, red, shifting multi-chrome flakes. This is part of her Bob's Burgers series. Price is $13 and there is no cap. Now this is another really versatile type finish. I chose to stop at 2 coats, and that's only because I felt like just the way it was feeling on my nails for the coats, I felt like there was a possibility for quite a bit of over buildup. I still had wonderful coverage at the second coat, but it's a little thinner than what I normally go for. Going in with a really thicker gel-like top coat, no problems there. And Rogue brings us second star to the right, described as a deep night sky blue jelly base with blue to light blue glowy micro flakes. This is part of her new Peter Pan series. Price is $13 and there is no cap. I'm so glad, at least on my monitors and what I'm seeing here in front of me and the bottle, that this one captured better. My Polished Gamer's Rogue. Oh my goodness, I was almost embarrassed, but it turns out my camera settings were really funky. I did something to it. I was playing around, and don't fix something if it isn't broke. I guess I learned that lesson. Anyways, second star to the right is a very luminous, beautiful blue. It is one of my other top picks for this month. It's gorgeous. I think 2 to 3 coats, depending on how you apply, is perfect for it. It does dry down very flat because of our Flaky Queens formula here with all her flakes. So I would suggest maybe a glitter smoother if your glossy top coat is on the thinner side. And Sassy Sauce brings us There's No Place Like Hanging With My Homies, described as a black to red thermal with red glitter pigment and a green, blue, violet shimmer. This one is part of her Shoes series. Price is $13 and there's a cap of 500 bottles. This is a lush type of color scheme going on here. I really liked it, and I don't know, I just bought a bunch of Valentine's decorations for my place, and I'm feeling the whole Valentine's theme, and I think this specific thermal goes really well with the whole Valentine's love sort of thing. It's very, very reactive on the temperature properties, and the shimmer glows so well in both the warm and the cold states. So I think you'll see lots and lots to go there. It is very reactive, so even if you've got nubbins and you're rocking shorties, I think you're going to be just fine to see temperature shifts. And lastly, we've got Zombie Claw. This is Disaster Date, described as a light purple base with gold to violet shimmer and black flakies. This one's $13.50 with a cap of 100, part of her Powerpuff Girls series. So if you liked the PPU polish that I'm going to call it the blended spinach polish, you will definitely favorite this one. We've got a ton of those little black flakes here. This has a heavier, more dense formula, easy to build to opacity, very smooth on the nail. I'm going to suggest not overworking your brush strokes, otherwise you'll get dragging because the flakes are of the heavier size. I think 2 coats is perfect. Anything more than that, you'll have over buildup, and you'll want to finish with a good glossy top coat and a glitter smoother, as this will have texture from the black flakes. And then lastly, we have the Will It Topper segment. This is where I use a black swatch stick to demonstrate if polishes are going to look great layering in addition to wearing by themselves. So Crystal Knockout passed the test. You can see how glowy this is. I really like this over black. I think it's going to perform perfectly over any cream color. Femme Fatale, same thing. Foils will forever look great layered. I think this would look great as a pond effect too, maybe even like a jelly sandwich sort of situation. Arts and Promises is, in my opinion, too jelly to layer. I think this is just one of those polishes that not only is it a linear hollow, just wear this one by itself. It's beautiful alone. Luna Lacquer, a surprise for me. I didn't think this one was gonna be able to layer pretty well, but it does. It's still pretty subtle, even over black, in terms of the color family we've got going here, but I thought it worked. Personally, I would just stick with maybe like a matchy-match mustard or a black undie. Night Owl, and you can see that there's a ton of rainbow goodies from those little flakes here. There is many, many ways and many colors I would suggest for that one. Rogue works, and I think it's gonna look fantastic, not just over black, but I think it will also work over matchy-match blue, but also I think a purple would look fantastic too. I think that jelly base is so lightly tinted that it could perform well over other colors. Sassy Sauce, in my opinion, this is one that I would not use as a topper. I tested it with cold and warm state. It didn't pop very well. Zombie Claw worked, shockingly enough, but I don't know. I personally would not try to layer this one. I think it's so opaque on its own. So January's shop is going to open up starting on January 14th at 12:01 a.m. Eastern Time, and it's going to run until January 21st at 11:59 p.m. Hawaiian time. I'm going to link you guys below to HHC's website to get in there. I'll also link you to the Facebook group if you haven't joined that already. There's sneak peeks and other postings, things like that to check out. As always, if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching.